And welcome back to another electrifying episode of the Michael Deacon program. For those of you out there, those first-time listeners, my name is Michael, and I'm not a right-wing wacko or a leftist idiot who allows his wife or girlfriend to peg him. I'm a free spirit, a man on a mission. It's a pleasure to meet you. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all those out there discovering us in the depths of the internet. We are a rebellious bunch, and we've been shunned by the overlords here on YouTube. But we won't let that stop us from bringing you the best content and conversation out there. That's for sure. And to our regular listeners out there, we know you're here because you've been seeking us out. You were meant to be here, that's for sure. Now tonight we want to hear from all of you out there. Don't be shy, call in, share your thoughts and ideas with us. Call in whenever you'd like. Throw in your 2 cents tonight. Get involved, if you wish. Don't just sit there behind your phones and your keyboard. Step it up, boys and girls. Oh yeah. Let's cut this music now. That went on a little too long for my personal preference here. But regardless, that was quite fun. And joining me here in a moment will be my co-host, Mr. Mike Hideous. I'm pretty sure he is ready to go. Let's see what is going on with Mike. Mike, are you alive?
Left-wing, right-wing wackos and left-wing idiots. That was a good one. I liked that.
I just go on the fly here.
Hello, Mr. Deacon. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Sometimes I don't even know what's going to happen here, and that one just sort of rolled through me there. But
I was cracking up when you said it.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the over-the-top intro there. But yes, people get involved. Don't just sit there behind your keyboard. Step it up. That number is 424-666-2425. Don't be afraid. It's just a number. Don't be scared. It's okay. But yes, Mike, I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a good one. And It is with a great pleasure to introduce to all of you out there my co-host. If you guys don't even know that yet, this is the co-host of the program, Mike Hideous.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yes, he's a distinguished artist and former musician, widely recognized as a legend in the gothic rock scene. And yes, Mike is a wealth of experience and knowledge, and he's here to share that with us, as he usually is.
Thank you.
Doing so. Yeah.
I'm also an astronaut and a brain surgeon.
That's true. So, Mike, how are you tonight here? Everything is going okay, I hope.
Yeah, I'm on pain. I'm on painkillers tonight. I had an accident yesterday, and I'm suffering from some serious rib pain.
Ooh.
And some severe lower back pain. But I already have back problems, so just kind of made it worse. I'm okay. It's just I had an accident yesterday out here in Pennsylvania. We had a little bit of snow. I slid off the road. It was quite climatic, I will admit that, but I'm okay. I just got to get my vehicle fixed.
Did you almost die, Mike? Be honest.
You want my honest opinion, Michael?
Yeah, hit me here.
I'm not kidding when I say this. I am lucky. And I say that only because the way the vehicle ended up positioning itself after I went off the road is on my right side, I had a pole, a telephone pole, and a metal sign, like one of those poles for a metal sign, like a street sign. And on my left, I had a row of very thick trees, and I was right smack in the middle. To the right, the poles were about, I kid you not, maybe 12 inches. And to the left, on the driver's side, the trees, again, not kidding, 2 inches.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're okay and not dead somewhere. You're not roadkill. And yes, you were briefly describing what was going on, but I wanted your first-hand account here on the program.
Thank you.
And goddamn, Mike.
Yeah.
You
that's what I said.
You cheated death once again.
Yeah, well, it certainly wasn't death, but I'll put it to you this way. the angle of the car, that the way it hit, where it hit, the airbags didn't even deploy. Not that they're defective, but I didn't hit anything from the front, which was good, because I could have really cracked my car up bad. But it is what it is. I got to deal with it, and that's that. I'm just recovering. Like I said, I'm taking a little bit of oxycodone today, for the lower back and the rib pain that I'm experiencing, and I didn't even feel it until today.
I thought you were saying you were taking OxyContin.
No. Is it OxyContin? No. It's oxycodone.
You wish it was, though. It would help.
OxyContin is morphine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Right.
It'd be better for you.
This is just like Percocet kind of stuff,
Ah.
And I'm okay with that.
It'll work.
It certainly is. Right now, it's working.
Oh, I like that. Good. Well, I'm glad you're in higher spirits, more of a positive vibe. Yeah, Mike is high, actually.
No more than you are, buddy, when you're drinking on the air.
I'm not drinking. How dare you?
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. I love it when you're drunk.
I don't think I've ever done the show drunk.
Didn't we do a show once where it was supposed to be an intoxication show? I remember that.
Yeah, I think we did do something like that, yeah.
That's right, about 5 years ago, maybe 6.
Ooh, that's when it got really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
You told me, because I had to work that day.
Yeah, I remember.
And I didn't get home till late. And I remember you guys were already on the air.
Ooh.
You had been drinking, and since I don't drink,
it was bad.
I sort of partook in the flour.
Oh, it was bad, Mike.
Yeah, we should do it again sometime.
That was like a 4-hour show.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know how or why, but my God, we survived that one. Yes, it was a 4-hour show.
Who else was on that show?
There was a lot of people on that show.
One in particular, though, I can't remember who it was. Eric? Was it Eric?
It might have been Eric.
Might have been.
It might have been. But yes, Mike, lots of drunk people called, and that was quite phenomenal. I didn't think it was going to work out that way, but we still did quite well, even though we were highly intoxicated. A very embarrassing episode for me. I was trying not to remember that one, but here Mike is bringing it up and giving me trauma here.
I liked it. I thought it was groovy.
Those shows get me in trouble.
Do they really?
Oh, they always do. I mean, Mike, I've been offered many gigs in the radio world, but anytime they go back and look me up, it's,
that one pops up.
They never hear. I never hear from them again. Once they hear those shows, yeah.
Thank you very much. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Exactly. That's the truth, though. But that's what you're going to get into when you're having fun and doing a program like this,
Indeed.
It's crazy out here. But yes, Mike, I'm just enjoying the strange weather out here in Southern California.
What's going on by you?
Well, there's a rare blizzard that's going on.
What?
Yeah, there's all kinds of snow going on. It's windy. It's been raining.
I'm assuming north, you mean, right?
Out here, south.
How could that be? You're like in the desert.
I don't know, but that's what's going on. There's snow up in the mountains. There's snow close by. I'm only about an hour, like less than an hour away from where it snows, really.
Is that so? I thought you were down far enough, like close to Mexico or something.
That's still.
And you still get snow down there?
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
Not where I am in particular, but close by, yeah.
I think I have to say, now that you're saying all this, I did hear about some bad snow weather in Texas too. Am I wrong? Did I get misinformation?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to what's going on in Texas, to be honest. I could kind of care less what goes on around there. I just know that the power, it's pretty shaky out there.
Indeed.
Out here, out there, thanks to the weather.
Stay warm and dry.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. The weather almost took you out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Michael, I don't recall if I told you yesterday when we spoke, but I was in probably less than a quarter of an inch of sleet and snow. And the combination of there's when I say frozen rain, I'm not referring to snow. Snow is different. frozen rain comes down in chunks. Sleet comes down in, oh, I don't even know what it comes down in, and of course, hail is frozen water. So it was a combination of that, and it just perfect conditions for an ice-covered road, and that's exactly what happened. And I was less than 4 miles away from my home. I was going to the post office.
And that's all it is.
That's all it took.
That's all it takes. I mean, well,
I should have stayed home.
Well, a friend of mine, his father was killed right outside of his home by a drunk driver. So, I mean, shit happens.
Oh, that's terrible.
You could just die right out front of your front yard there.
You know, they do say, statistics say that most accidents occur within a 20-mile radius of your own home.
That's crazy.
And I mean, I don't know what the statistics are of being killed in front of your home, but
probably up there, probably high,
just as high, right?
I would imagine, but definitely not a way to go out. Getting hit by a drunk driver.
Oh no, that's terrible. Did they get the guy, and was justice received?
I believe so. I believe he was apprehended and cuffed and taken away.
Good.
And yes, and that is pretty brutal. I apologize to that guy.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I wish I could reach out to him, but he sort of became an enemy of mine.
I remember who you're talking about now. I remember the story.
Yes, but that's okay. You know, I forgive many of my enemies out there because things like this happen to them, and then I feel sorry for them.
You've turned over a new leaf, my friend.
I pretty much have. You know, I've kind of reached out to a lot of people that I felt like I was kind of mean towards, you know, and I kind of let it go.
Well, I still think you're mean. I just think that...
No, that's true. A little bit. I guess you're right.
You have a new attitude. You know, that comes with age, Michael. As you get older, you start realizing life's too short to hold grudges and, you know, be mad at people forever.
That's true.
I mean, look at me. Not to get off the subject, but look at me. A couple weeks ago, you and I had a discussion, and I said to you I'd be willing to talk to, or was willing to talk to one of my mortal enemies, Paul.
Paul.
Remember?
You're willing to talk to Paul, and you're willing to talk to Michael Graves.
I did say that. I did say that.
It's a little. Well, that one's a little rocky.
Yeah, it is. But you know, I'm open. If anybody's willing to give me respect, I'll be the first to give it back tenfold. That's how I am. You respect me, I respect you. And I think what you've come to a point in your life, and this is just me assuming, my 2 cents. I think you've come to a point in your life where you realize, as I said, life's too short to be a prick all your life. You know, not that you were a prick. I'm just saying, if you have anger issues or what.
I mean, I might have been to a few people, sure.
We all have.
Yeah.
Come on. We all have.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I've been sort of, you know, letting these things go. But yes, in the chat room, have you ever seen snow? And that's from Victoria. Are you an idiot, Victoria? Of course I've seen snow.
The old Michael.
That didn't take long, right?
Yeah, it's like 10 seconds. Oh, you're back. Okay, hello.
I'm in California. There's beaches, there's snow, there's mountains, there's rainfalls.
Do you know if you're like sort of on the same, I don't know if it's latitude or latitude, I think, as like Texas, like Houston? Because I know they had snow. Even Florida had snow at a couple points. So I'm wondering if you're on that same latitude with them.
I don't know, Mike. I don't really care for Texas or Florida, to be honest with you, you know.
Yeah.
I hate them both. Oh, Mike, I didn't change at all. Here I am.
No,
I'm back. Yeah, here we go.
I take back everything.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm alive. Well, that didn't take long. But yes, Mike, it gets kind of crazy out here at times. And some say it's not natural, that this is manufactured. It's not a natural occurrence. They say warming. It's a weather modification.
Yeah. Global warming.
It's something. It's something.
Last week, it was 62 degrees here. Now, mind you, this is February. I'm in the same month as you on the other side of the country. And it was 62 degrees. And I went outside. I did a few things that I had to do outside. And when was it? Yesterday? Yesterday it dropped down to like in the low 30s, high 20s. And like I said, we had that sleet and ice and everything. It's crazy. It's global warming.
It's pretty
I'm kidding,
wild.
of course.
Yes, Mike's kidding, of course. Don't get too shocked, but yes, we've got a terrible storm coming out here in Southern California, the worst that has been experienced probably since the late 90s, they're saying. Several flood warnings and power outages are expected out here. And, this is one of the reasons why we're doing the show now and not later. You never know. This show might just go off here. The power just might die.
And let's face it, you guys have more problems with the electrical grid out by you.
Absolutely.
And just think, if you all had electric cars,
we'd be screwed.
Imagine what
oh my God. And that's what they want us to do out here. And
that's
it's
right.
the
They're
worst.
Forcing it down your throat.
It really is. I mean, I am in the wastelands of California, that's for sure. Way down south here. Pretty bad. It gets hot, it gets cold, but at the same time, not as cold as where you are, Mike. But yes, we are a strange bunch out here in California.
Indeed.
But yes, I've already received warnings that, the power outage, there's going to be a power outage. That's what I'm reading here. And to expect it if it happens, that's why we're here. But we power forward, Mike. And I just wanted to say again that I'm glad you're alive and in one piece.
Thanks,
and you were the latest victim of this chaotic weather that we've been experiencing all over here in the States. And again, some people say it's not a natural thing at all. People say that this is for sure a result of weather modification, Mike. But I know you don't believe that, obviously.
Do you believe it? Do you?
Sometimes I do. I mean, it's kind of suspicious. It's a little suspicious that all this has been going on with the weather out here. I mean, we don't really experience this sort of nonsense, so it's hard for me to, dismiss. And yes, Dr. Detroit, it's all those, shitty politicians you have in California. Poopy. That's what he's saying. Poopy. The poopy emoji there in the chat. Yes, I agree. I'm not going to deny that or fight with you here, Dr. Detroit. It is true. The politicians in general are the scum of the earth, and especially the ones here in California, unfortunately, they don't have their head screwed on the proper way, Mike. And I'm just being polite here because, we're not trying to go too crazy here.
I hear you.
Yeah, or my dad's gonna get mad. Can you imagine that?
I can't wait to meet you.
I have anxiety now doing the show. It's like, thanks, Dad. Glad for your support.
Thanks, Mr. Deacon.
Ooh, you'll like the old man.
I think I will.
Yeah, you'll get along with him.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
You'll meet him. All right. But yeah, Mike, weather modification. Just think about it for a while.
May I put my 2 cents in concerning?
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. If you want to talk about global warming, but it'll lead us into another story here, especially one with Bill Gates, who's flying around in his private jet.
Big jet, using all that fuel, Mr. Green.
All that fuel and all that carbon emission and so forth and so forth. Go ahead, Mike. Pick it up here.
All I'm saying is this. Every so many years, every couple of decades or so, maybe even a century, the world goes through systematic changes in weather and patterns, and it's been noted throughout history. Yes, we do get Category 5 hurricanes these days. Yes, we do get 65-degree weather in February. It happens. And I'm the first to say that, yes, I think humanity contributes to the warming of, with all the pollution that we emit. It goes into the upper atmosphere, and it is locked in through the greenhouse effect, thus creating, warmer temperatures as a result. As the glaciers melt into the ocean, you have regular water mixing with salt water. What that does, it creates weather. You got to try to imagine now. We're talking billions, trillions, if not more, of gallons of fresh water going into the salt water. That goes in, it mixes up, creates weather patterns, because as the water The vapor rises, it goes up, and it creates heavy downpours. As a result of the Category 5 hurricanes and the crazy weather that we get, it is my personal opinion, based on science and what I learned when I was in friggin' high school, is that the world changes. It goes through changes. Imagine, if you will, a teenager growing up, going through the point of having pimples and growing pubic hair and that sort of thing.
Pimples.
So I think that within the last 100 plus years, with the industrial nation creating so much pollution, it has attributed to the possible problems that we are having with the weather. I don't believe it's anything other than that. And it's a good way for the world to wake up and start realizing, hey, we need to start coming up with better ideas, but don't push down our throat that everybody's got to drive an electric car in 5. And don't tell me
you need a private jet, Mike. That's what that's what you need.
Like the guy you just said,
like Bill Gates,
mashed potato face, John Kerry.
Oh yeah, a lot of these guys they push the Green New Deal out there so much. They're all about it. They're very much they go green. Yet they they fly around private jets, Mike.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, John Kerry, the president, the vice president, all of them. They all they got to, and then of course they've got all their guards with their guns. But we got to drive electric cars and give all our guns in.
Yeah, can you imagine though if the electrical grid goes down, Mike? There goes all the electric cars or.
Yeah, everything.
They're rendered useless now.
Everything goes down. Your computers, your ability to social media everybody, your television, your phones, your heating. If you got electric heating, your stove, if it's electric, that all goes down. Got to be a better way.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way, but that's what they want. That's what they want us to do out here in California. They're pushing for that, but I think that's ridiculous, and it's probably never going to happen, to be honest.
I'm the first to say I'm all about making, ecology, working things out for humanity, plants and animals, the survival of our oceans, and just in general to make the world better. But to force it down our throat so quickly. Remember, I don't know if you remember this, but about 30 some years ago, at least out in New Jersey, that's when I was living there. That's when we started the whole process of recycling.
Right.
Before that, you just threw a bottle or a can in the garbage.
Do you recycle, Mike?
I certainly do.
You recycle cans?
As much as I can, yes.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm the kind
that.
of guy who walks down the street, and if I see a can or a bottle on the road, I will pick it up and put it in a barrel.
Well, that's nice of you.
I try.
Yeah, see, he's a good guy.
So I'm told.
He's not an anarchist. He doesn't litter.
Used to be, not anymore.
Yeah, he used to be. He doesn't used to be. I mean, yeah. You grew up. That's good though, Mike. It is crazy though what is going on, especially with all these celebrities out there, and just people that are quite wealthy pushing for this Green New Deal.
Because it's easy for them, Michael.
Yeah, but I mean, again, at the same time, they're still flying private jets and yachts.
They're hypocrites,
and that's a lot of CO2 emissions there. Not that I really care about that sort of thing. I don't care about the environment. Let it all burn, Mike. I'm waiting for the end times. I want the apocalypse to come sooner. Let it burn, baby. Let it burn.
Wow.
I didn't change at all, Mike. I'm back. I'm here wanting to see the world burn.
You certainly
burn
did.
it up. Burn it up. Burn it all to hell. I mean, it's all going to hell anyways. Let's just start, using hairspray more often. Just use it outside.
Oh, that was a big thing in the.
You remember that?
In the mid to late, actually the late 80s. That's when that started. And at the time, being the punk rocker that I was, excuse me, I'm sorry. At the time when I was doing my hair as a punk rocker, I used to use this can of Aquanet.
Aquanet, yeah.
Yeah, for my hair, to keep my hair up. and then it was all like, no CFCs. You got to use pumps, not aerosol cans. And so I did.
And so he did, folks. And that's the story of Mike there as a youth using Aquanet for his hair.
It was sorry, the cat just walked over the microphone.
Oh,
sorry.
how dare the cat. The cat was agreeing with you.
He was agreeing
with you, yes. But yes, I'm looking at the chat room here. Geoengineering, very true, yes, HARP. All things that Mike doesn't really subscribe to here, but that's okay. We'll slowly force it down his throat. Yes, we'll slowly fist him down his throat with it. Yes.
Michael, I'm really a big skeptic, and I like to see proof.
Well, you're Italian, of course.
I'm an Italiano.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but just look at what's going on in Ohio. I mean, good Lord.
Police.
That is
crazy.
It's pretty crazy, but it's even crazier that I kind of feel like that was done on purpose.
Imagine that. Oh, could you imagine?
Well, I mean, Mike, I truly believe this was no accident at all.
And why is that, sir?
I mean, it's been going on for a while now. All these plants just blowing up, catching fire.
Yeah.
Blowing up.
What a messed up world, huh?
It's a messed up world, but it's been going on. I mean, that's what's been going on with our electrical system out here in America. A lot of them have been attacked. People shooting at them, throwing shit at them. Mm-hmm. It's pretty wild. And of course, it's no accident that just recently the environmental scientists heading to Ohio were killed in a plane crash, by the way.
Is that so? When did this happen?
This happened just recently, just a few hours back. I remember coming across this story, but I believe that happened just recently here, Mike. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Do you think it was an accident now that this plane just crashed out of nowhere, Mike, headed to Ohio with these prominent scientists?
Oh my goodness.
I don't think that's an accident, to be honest. I think that was sort of done intentionally. As crazy as that may sound to you, Mike, but
it's crazy. I mean, I didn't know about it until just now.
No survivors either on a twin engine, 5 passengers dead.
Oh, what a shame.
This happened, I believe it was yesterday.
Wow.
So 5 people have been killed in a small plane crash, and they were en route to investigate a recent deadly explosion at a metal company in Bedford, Ohio. So, Mike, again, I don't know if it was an accident or not, but it's a little suspicious. It's a little suspicious. That's all I'm saying.
Was the corpse on that plane?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he wanted to go out there.
Of course not.
President Trump was out there.
Anywhere there's tragedy or chaos, he doesn't want to go there.
He was in the Ukraine. He was too busy.
Oh, getting some little greased palm.
Yeah, getting some cash out there.
POS.
Yeah. Well, that's your president, Mike. You voted for him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking, of course. I'd be shocked if you actually voted for Biden.
You would be, huh?
I would be shocked. I would be like, really, Mike, you really voted for Joseph Biden?
Let me tell you something. Even when I was a politically correct liberal Democrat, I can honestly sit here and tell you that I would not have voted for him because I think he's an idiot. And I think he's an idiot, but I also think that his background proves what kind of a hoodlum we're dealing with here as a politician.
A hoodlum?
For lack of a better term, yes.
Are you calling him a thug?
I'd call him a worse thing if I could, but I'm trying to keep it PG.
You're trying to keep it PG here, okay.
PG-13.
PG-13 here, yeah. I appreciate that, Mike. We're trying to run a clean show here tonight.
We are. I even changed my underwear to get on this show.
Very nice, Mike. I'm glad you are well groomed and kept nicely. You don't have a bush?
I don't what?
I was just saying you don't have a bush going on. You kept it clean here.
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah, you're keeping it real.
I'm keeping it clean.
Keeping it clean, folks. What a classy show.
Yeah.
Very classy.
I can see the ratings are already starting to get up there, you know?
Yeah, we're losing subscribers, actually. Now that the show's going this way.
They want to hear us swear.
They want to hear some bad words, but that's why we have the Patreon series. If you want to hear, just people going insane, you could go there. Actually, it's not really that wild. The Patreon, it's a little bit more tame than this at times, but yeah, sometimes things get a little out of hand there. And, the shows that we do together get pretty wild out there too, Mike. And I got to get you back on Patreon too.
Love to be there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a little bit more controversial than cloud seeding. And yes, I'm seeing the chat there. Owning the weather by 2025. Well, I think even sooner, I think the weather is being used against us here, Mike. I truly believe that. I feel this is no accident what's going on as well with these prominent scientists dying here in this crash, Mike.
Yeah, that is shocking.
I think they whacked them.
Whack-a-doodle.
And it was close by Bill and Hillary Clinton's airport there.
Is that so?
That's right. Yeah, Little Rock is not that far away, I believe.
Did you hear or read anything about the possibility of what may have caused this crash?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Still being investigated.
It's going to be a while. Yeah.
It'll be a while, but again, we'll find out what they say, but very, very interesting nonetheless. And we'll get to the bottom of that eventually here, and we'll bring it back around and talk about that with you guys once we get more information on that. But again, hard to believe that happened naturally, Mike. These guys just suddenly crashed out there, these scientists. It seems to happen every time they go on a commercial flight or on a private jet, Mike. They just end up dying somehow. It's really weird. That's why I want to ask anytime I go on a plane if any of them are like political figures or anything, having to do with the media or anything like that. But it's been a long
politics.
time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you don't want to be on board with those kind of people at all. That flight might just tank.
From now on, if I ever take another plane trip, which eventually I will, I am going to make sure I ask, as I am getting ready to board that plane.
Yeah, make sure.
Whether or not there are any politicians liked or disliked on the ship.
Just in case, be smart and find out who's on board there and run or cancel the flight, do something, but don't get on board with these folks, that's for sure.
I'll make sure I bring my parachute.
There you go.
I will jump out the window.
Eventually, we're going to have something like that on planes. I mean, it's crazy enough that these planes that we fly on commercial airlines are like 20 years old, probably.
Yeah, I think the one, I always thought about that idea too. Why not have the passengers, give them parachutes? Here's the problem with that. When you're flying at 600 miles an hour at an altitude of 20,000 feet, and you're going down, say, in a spin. The problem with that is that you're in a big tube and you're going to be flopping around all over. And if you even had the ability to open the door, you'd be sucked out so hard you'd probably break every bone in your body on the way out. Even if you broke a window.
It's a fun image.
You'd get sucked out of that window. Now imagine, a plane window is what, maybe 12 inches by 10 inches, give or take?
Probably.
Imagine getting sucked through that thing.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't be fun, that's for sure.
So I think that may be one of the reasons.
One of the reasons why we don't have that, yeah.
I'm just guessing, but as I said, if you open a door or the window breaks or something, it's going to be difficult getting out of there. Like you open the door, it's going to get ripped off. You're going to go flying out along with about the other 60 people who are sitting in that area.
I'm just glad I don't fly. I haven't been on a plane in many, many years.
Is that so? Do you have a fear of flying? Because I do.
I've always have. I mean, the last time I flew on a plane was back in 2016. I would say I flew to San Jose from LA, and that was not good, Mike. I mean, I drank a little bit. I tried to sort of kill the nerves there, but that didn't work. That made it worse.
Really? Because I mean, I've drank.
You've drunk?
I've drankened on planes before, and I know that when you're at a higher altitude, the alcohol affects you much differently, and you get wasted. Did you know that?
Well, I definitely was buzzing, but it didn't work. I was still quite scared.
Did you know that at a higher altitude you get stoned quicker?
I wouldn't know that, but
It's true. If you drink, let's just say, for example, you can drink 2 glasses of whiskey when you're at a bar. In the air, if you drink 2 glasses of whiskey, which you would think would be normal for you, it will affect you like you had 4 glasses.
Really? Well, I've never drank on the plane. I drank before I boarded the plane.
It's more fun to drink when you're on the plane.
I gunned it right before I even got on. Indeed.
I used to take Valium.
Wow.
I took a flight. Yeah, because I was deathly nervous. Only like 5 milligrams, but enough to knock me out. You take a 5 milligram diazepam or a Valium, and it's like taking a 10 milligram thing once you're up. And I would pass out 10 minutes. And there was one time when we were flying to California for a couple of gigs. This is back in the 90s. I took a diazepam, a Valium, before we got on the plane. I was asleep before we took off.
Wow. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But Mike, the thought
I'm definitely afraid.
The thought of flying and being way the hell up there like a goddamn bird, that is the most terrifying feeling in the world. I mean, some people have to get on a plane for a living, basically, to travel, to do this, but for their jobs, their careers. But me personally, I mean, thank God I don't have to. It is scary as hell.
Yeah.
Getting in that goddamn plane and being, you're basically with a group of strangers. You're strapped to a rocket basically.
Right.
And you don't even know if you're going to make it or not.
That's right.
The whole takeoff sequence is, that part. I can't take it.
Touchdown are really tough things to do.
I don't know how some people could do it and just think really nothing about it.
Listen, man, when I was in the Misfits and we did that South American tour, we flew to every country.
Screw that, man.
Yeah, we flew to every country. And that was terrifying for me because I hate flying. I really do. And having to fly, when we did Europe, flying over the Atlantic Ocean at night.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I was pooping my pants.
Yeah, count me out, Mike. I would not have made that tour.
Not fun.
I don't even want to go on a cruise. Hell no.
Yep.
Can you imagine being stuck out there in the middle of the damn ocean? No thanks. That's not appealing to me, man. I'm sorry.
I've seen enough movies on that sort of subject, and it terrifies me.
Well, that's the thing. The mind races, especially being out in the ocean or in the sky. It's just not really appealing to me at all. I mean, I'd rather just drive and take my chances on the road, getting killed by, well, I'm not going to say by who, but you know who. That was a good save, right?
Yes. It
was a good save, and that leads us to our next and first segment here on this program, Mike.
Right on.
Oh, yes. We do have a story here of the Boston sports radio host, or show rather, hosted by Tony Maserati. Maserati. Is he one of yours, Mike?
I read the article. I know.
Is he an Italian?
I know that. Yeah, it sounds it. I know the name. I don't know who the guy is. I read the article. Oh, excuse me again. I'm sorry. But I don't know who he is.
I don't know who he is either because I don't listen to sports shows at all.
Yeah, me neither. But the name
that's
sounds familiar.
That's like asking me if I go play golf.
It's like asking me if I know anything about football or baseball.
Waste of time, to be honest. These sports shows, but a lot of people like them. And this host, his name is Tony Maserati. He might be Italian, I think. I'm suspecting he might be. And
sounds it.
Yeah, sounds the part. And he made a racially insensitive joke on air. And, he got into some trouble there, by the way.
Of course. You surprised?
Of course. Well, no. Why wouldn't he get in trouble?
Exactly. And let's be specific. Can we be honest about this and talk about why he got fired?
Well, we're getting to that.
Okay, good.
We're getting to that, but I'm just saying he did some major backpedaling and apologized.
Of course.
As he should have, because... And I'll explain why. But yes, he was apologizing like a politician caught with an underage girl, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he got himself into some hot water because he made a joke, and we do have audio of that, Mike.
Can I hear it?
Yeah, let's play a little clip of that. And again, boys and girls, you know, we say fun things here. We make jokes about all these sort of things. But the problem, though, Mike, is that this is a sports show. That's the problem. That's the thing is, it's always about context. It always is. And again, it's a sports show. And you got to remember, this is done under a corporate ladder. So, you know, jokes of that nature, you can't really be doing that under their sort of banner.
I will agree with you on that. However, I do think that making a joke, well, you know, I got to hear it in order to make a comment.
Again, it's all about context, and we'll talk about that here. But again, you got to remember, this is on a big network. It's like CBS Sports or whatever.
Okay.
So, you know, you can't really be cracking jokes. They're not going to allow you to do that. And you got to remember, who watches this for the most part? Mm-hmm. A lot of white folks, a lot of black folks.
Yeah,
so you got to remember,
it's not just white and black. It's everybody who likes sports.
Well,
it doesn't matter what color or gender you are. If you like something, you're part of it. My issue is, you've got to, today's generation of younger people who are so uptight, they need to really get a sense of humor. But again, I haven't heard the joke, so I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
It's not really that bad, but I mean, again, what I'm trying to say is, that platform is not, they don't come from the world of funny, is what I'm trying to say. You know, it's fine if we do that here, right. But when you're getting paid by these people, it's, you know, probably it's kind of, yeah, it's probably not the best move. But yeah, here we go, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
If this plays, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to know now who the two guys. That's what I want.
Okay.
Because if I were you,
I'll be off in 2 minutes. I'm just doing. If I'm too loud, just let me know. Honestly,
they can't.
2 more minutes.
They can't hear us, right?
No, not you.
Okay, no. So I would be careful if I were you, because the last time you were on a couple of guys like that, they stole your car.
Here's Chris in Boston. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to talk about.
So I mean, it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a black guy in the back there, and the guy, you know, said the last time, you know, you were around a couple of guys like that, they stole your car.
Stole your car. Okay.
But here's the thing. They actually did. Well, I don't know if he was a black person, but his car was stolen. There were things stolen from his car.
There you go.
So I mean,
validation.
Exactly. It wasn't exactly that bad or out of context. But if you just hear it that way, you're like, what? What do you mean?
Exactly.
But so yeah, you know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't exactly the worst thing in the world. But again, you have to understand that joke wouldn't be offensive to you or me. You know, it's whatever. But again, under their little corporate banner, you know, you kind of can't be making any jokes these days about anything.
No, you can't. Even comedians can't joke.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
If I may just say.
Go ahead.
Let's face it. I'm going to be honest here, okay? I'm going to spit it out. I don't care what anybody says, but here's the truth. If you are a Caucasian Christian male, particularly, let me erase that. If you are a Caucasian Christian person, male, female, child, whatever, you are, it's open season. You can say anything about these people. You can crack jokes. You can be absolutely obnoxious and belligerent and say terrible things about them, and you won't get in trouble. However, if that same group of people makes any comment about any other ethnical, religious, or sexual orientation people, they themselves they'll get cremated by the thought police and the PC police, because, as I said before, these people do not know how to have a sense of humor. They can't laugh at themselves. Maybe they can, but they can't laugh at anybody or anything that is commented about them. Look, I'm Italian. Do you know how many Italian jokes I've heard over the years about stupid Italian people, greasy Italian people, hairy-lipped women?
I mean, well, yeah,
Italian
that's all I say about you.
Exactly. And do I care?
No.
No.
But I
don't
mean, that's
give
what
a
I'm
damn.
saying, Mike. We're here on this program, different platform. It wasn't CBS. It's NBC Sports. That's why, Mike.
Mhm.
So, again, they're not going to allow you to say anything.
Of course not. That's the world that we've now been brought into thanks to King Hussein Obama.
Let's hear that one last time in case you missed it. And this is coming from
And you can miss it.
a program here, a sports program. And that's the problem, though, Mike. This is a sports program. If you were doing that joke anywhere else, I don't think people really would have been up in arms too much about it. But it's, again, the corporate banner where sensitivity and professionalism should be upheld, Mike. That's their whole thing. That's not me saying that. That's just, their whole motto,
Personally, I think everybody's lost their mind.
Well, that's your opinion, and I don't disagree.
Let's face it, Michael. Let's face it. As I just said, you can say anything you want about white Christian males. White Christian people, male, female, children, and that's okay. You can joke about Jesus Christ and Catholicism and Christianity and priests, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. I don't care. But if I make a joke about anybody who is sensitive and uptight, and
That happens here every night, Mike. When we do a show, everyone's offended.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I would get crucified for it because that is where we're at in this world right
That's right.
now, particularly in this country.
That's right. It's pretty wild. But yeah, let's hear that clip one last time, Mike, before we listen to the apology now. And of course, this is coming from the sports show out there by Mr. Maserati, the Felger and Maz show on 98.5, the Sports Hub. Again, Felger and Maz. Never heard of that in my entire life, Mike.
That's because you're not from Boston.
I'm not from Boston.
Nope.
And I don't listen
Clam
to
chowder.
I don't listen. Yeah, I don't need clam chowder.
Era.
And talk like that. That's for sure. Some of the most annoying people I've ever come across in my life are from Boston. And I don't think that was an accident either. I think God put them there in front of me to despise them.
Mr. Deacon, I'm sorry, I don't like what you're saying about the Boston people.
Yikes.
Era.
I just don't like a lot of that in my life. Got to be honest.
Why don't you eat some more clam chowder?
Yikes. If I hear that accent, I run. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to know now who the two guys behind you are. That's what I want.
Okay.
Because if I were you,
I'll be off in 2 minutes. I'm just doing. If I'm too loud, just let me know. Honestly,
they can't.
2 more minutes.
They can't hear us, right?
No, not you.
Okay, no. So I would be careful if I were you, because the last time you were on a couple of guys like that, they stole your car.
Here's Chris in Boston. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to know now who the two guys.
Now, by the way, in this video, the guy who's turning around and talking to the black gentleman in the background, he wanted no part of that joke, by the way. He didn't even laugh.
Is that so?
The other two guys were laughing, but he was stone-faced. He wanted no part of it. He knew that his gig was up.
Yep.
I think he was like, oh shit, it's over.
That's sad.
We're going to get canceled here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got to say one thing. I am a fan of old school comedy, all right? And I had been collecting these DVDs called the Friars Club, where they would basically bash these Hollywood movie stars. All right, basically it was called the Dean Martin Celebrity, whatever the hell. And I watched them, and all the stars, like everybody from Sammy Davis Jr. to Muhammad Ali, Frank Sinatra. And a host of various comedians, and they would all get on, and they'd make fun of you, no matter what color or race or ethnic background or religious background or sex that you were. They didn't care because everybody had fun, and they made off color, not off color, but they joked by making comments about ethnicity and religion and color, but it was in jest. It wasn't something that was hateful, and that's the problem with today. They're so sensitive. They think that everything is hateful coming from a Caucasian person, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
And I believe this is a follow-up video
today,
here.
and we'll just start the show by clarifying that and giving you a few words on that. So, Tony, if you were listening yesterday, he made a heartfelt apology about comments that he made on the show on Friday, which were insensitive and hurtful, because Beasley Media strives to create a diverse and inclusive workplace.
Told you.
And these comments went against its core values. The company has decided to suspend Tony for the rest of the week without pay. In addition, all of our on-air personalities at Beasley Boston will be taking sensitivity training to redouble our efforts to create a culture of understanding. I was partially reading part of that. So that is the word from Beasley Media Group. Tony will be suspended without pay for the rest of the week. And so he will not be here today or through Friday. I'll just add on a personal level quickly that we all feel really bad about this, starting with the fact that it was said in the first place. Minorities in this country do have to put up with a lot of crap, and comments like that just make it harder for them, and we apologize for that. I feel bad that I personally didn't do more.
He feels bad,
to
Mike.
correct it in the moment. I had the chance, and I'm just not talking about dropping it either. I had a chance there in a split-second moment to do something, and I guess I froze, so I feel bad about that. I feel bad about, and I feel...
Oh, by the way, not only did he freeze, he was scared for his life, Mike.
Yeah.
He knew that show was over.
Exactly.
He was like, my career is over here at the Sports Boston.
He mentioned how everybody's going to go to sensitive training class. You might as well just call it concentration camps for thought control. I mean, it's absolutely pathetic. This is pathetic.
And I feel bad for Maz, because anyone who's been listening to us for 13 years and know anything about him through his 30 years in this job in various forms in this town, that's not what he is. That's not what he's about. That's what made it so shocking. But it's not what he represents or stands for. And anyone who knows him or has listened to our show knows it. It's not what we represent or the company represents, and certainly not what Maz represents. So we all feel bad about the whole thing. But that is the deal. And so what we're going to do is take a quick break now that you have the information.
Yes, let's take a quick break, he said. I would take a quick break myself, too, after that. Mike, again, it's all about context and doing things under the right banner. And again, that didn't offend me at all. However, the corporate suits, that offended them greatly.
Well, hang on. Stop.
Obviously.
Right there, Michael, what you just said.
Well,
it
there you
offended
go.
them, and you know why it offended
suits.
them? You know why it offended them?
Why did it offend them, Mike?
Because of money. They know that if somebody makes a joke like that, which they consider to be an off-color comment, they are going to lose their...
They're going to lose a lot of money, a lot of
They're going to lose their
ads.
listenership.
Right.
Whoever color they may be talking about, they're going to lose corporate backing, such as, say, Nike, Disney.
Well,
whatever.
exactly. This is why I'm saying you can't make that sort of joke under that banner, that corporate banner. And again, I understand the joke, and it was a joke, people. It comes from a funny place, not a place out of anger.
Right.
I don't think he was making that in an angry sort of way, just a fun joke. But again, the problem is under the right banner, you can make a joke like that, and are jokes fun? Can anything be made into a joke and you can make it be funny? I would say yeah. I think you can make a funny rape joke. You can make a funny sort of a joke about someone's gender, someone's weight, someone's height. You can make a joke about anything. The problem is, it's got to be under the right context, under the right banner, per se, or people lose their minds. That's the thing.
Listen, man, the comments that are said from the other side. Now, remember, I'm Caucasian, all right? I'm a white guy.
Yeah, you're not Caucasian, Mike. Come on.
I'm Italian American. I'm Caucasian.
You're not considered Caucasian, though, by other Caucasians.
Well, be that as it may, what I'm trying to get at is this. I hear all the time on television shows, in movies, in commercials, where comments are made against Caucasians. They can't jump. They're all racist. Do you ever see how many SNL comedy skits do you see where they come out and they make fun of, maybe white people who can't dance or they have no rhythm? Or
I wouldn't know, Mike. I
basketball?
stopped watching Saturday Night Live a long time ago.
You get what I'm saying, though.
I get you what
Whatever
you're
it may
saying.
be.
Were they really doing that?
So, but here's what I'm getting at. If you, for example, when the movie came out, there was a movie called White Chicks, where two black
White
guys,
Chicks, yeah.
comedians, dressed up with makeup as white women. That was okay. That was fine. But even Dave Chappelle on his show many times would dress up and impersonate a white guy.
Does that offend you, Mike?
Well, here's what I'm getting at. It offends me when I can't joke back.
Yeah, but it's coming from the same place as funny, though.
Of course. And I don't think it's not like I'm offended by the comedians. I'm offended by the people who say, well, that's offensive. You can't make fun of black people. You can't make fun of Latino people. You can't make fun of Asians. I was listening to a thing the other day about how this Asian woman was saying how everybody else cannot be racist. Only white people.
Only white people can be racist. Well, it's not exclusive to white folks.
I was jumped in a racist attack against me in 2012, and I was beaten because I was white, and they called me every name in the book. So don't give me that bullshit about other races not being racist. I've been around the world. I've heard people in other countries make comments about other people in a racist, derogatory in terms, and yet these people in America, these PC liberals, think they're going to change the world and that everything is going to be this wonderful utopia if we just stop thinking bad thoughts and saying off-color comments. These people have no sense of reality.
Well, of course not. Of course not. They're trying to sort of build a false sort of reality, basically, as you were saying. Something that's not really existent outside of these corporate walls.
Precisely.
Which is the issue. And again, Mike, a joke can be made, any joke can be turned funny. Some fall flat, obviously. Not everything's funny.
No.
But in this case, the guy actually something was stolen from him, or his car was stolen. So, that is kind of funny.
Sure it is. Sure it is, Michael. I mean, like I said, it's just it's this this humorless, hypocritical new generation of woke idiots.
That's what happens.
I got to tell you, after I got jumped.
But that's not the world. But again, they don't. None of these people come from the world of funny, is what I'm trying to say.
No, they don't.
They don't have a sense of humor. But again, they have their own sort of rules and regulations, and this is what happens when you go a little off the trail here.
It really does bother me when I see this sort of thing on the television, in movies, in commercials, whatever. It really bothers me because it just, how can you deem an entire ethnic culture, in this case Caucasians, how can you deem them for, what took place almost 200 years ago with slavery? I mean, I heard this Asian woman talking about how white people are so evil and bad. I'm like, oh my God, have you ever looked at the police reports? More white people get shot by black cops than the other way around. But you won't hear that in news.
And Mike, here's the follow-up here, the apology.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear the apology. If it plays that way, if it even plays, Mike, who knows?
We have to clean up something from Friday. We had a bad moment on Friday afternoon, and so we just want to clean up that little bit of business. And so, Maz, the floor is yours.
Okay, so as you said, late in the show on Friday, I made some comments. That angered and upset some people, and rightfully so. So I wish I could take them back.
Why is he talking that way, by the way, Mike? Why is he acting like he's going to cry? I made some comment.
It's like Jimmy Kimmel.
That sounds fake.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, just say you screwed up. You don't have to act like you're going to cry. I mean, now you look like a, you know what?
I'm surprised they didn't make Al Sharpton come on and give him and have Sharpton make this guy
to
give
lecture
a
him.
Apology.
To lecture him like he did to Don Imus.
Don Imus, exactly. What an insult that was. I friggin' hate Sharpton. I think he's the biggest race baiter in the world.
Well, yes, he's a race hustler, no doubt. A race baiter, a race hustler, that's what they do, Mike. That's their whole game. But yeah, I'm actually surprised he wasn't alerted to this by Felger and Maz. But he sounds like a giant vagine. Something happened. I'm so sorry. I mean, you sound like a vagine.
A vaginer.
A vaginer. You sound like something that bleeds once a month. Oh. Here we go. Let's hear some more bad acting.
Them back. I can't. They were insensitive. They were hurtful. And frankly, they hurt the cause for those of us who believe in
just say you were joking.
Racial, social equality, and all of those things. And I do. I'm on that side of the line, which is what made this thing so difficult in so many different ways.
Yes.
So I owe everyone an apology. It's not who I am. It's not who we are. I can tell you that until I'm blue in the face. Those of you who know me will believe it. Those of you who don't, won't, and you probably shouldn't. If I saw and heard what you did, I feel the same way. And you have a right to be upset. The only thing I can really do is apologize for it. Again, there is, when we're talking about these sorts of issues, there is a line somewhere, and I can assure you I stand on the right side of it.
Oh, you're full of it.
But that doesn't excuse what I said or did on Friday.
Listen
it was
to him.
really,
oh my God,
I meant,
I'm gonna cry.
If anyone cares, to poke fun at you, Mike. It didn't come off that way. It came off as something far broader and ignorant.
You're a loser.
And I'm regretful of that. I don't know what more I can say other than I'm sorry to you and to Murray for dragging you into it.
Oh, please.
For Jimmy Stewart, for the people here at the station, let alone friends and colleagues in the business who are dealing with it on a sort of different levels.
They put the fear in this man's heart, Mike.
Yeah.
Again, all I can tell you is it's not who I am. And it got a little silly and stupid at the end of the show. I was trying to be a wise ass like I often am.
That's all you had to say. Just say you're having fun. Not a wise ass. Just say you're having fun.
I wish I could give you a better answer than that, because we're in a business where we should be careful about what we say and how we say it. And I wasn't.
Oh boy.
So,
loser.
Oh boy.
Have some balls, you idiot.
Well, I was trying to be respectful of him, but I don't think I respect a man that cowardly. I mean, just say you were having fun, big deal. You screwed up. You don't have to. You don't have to pretend you're going to cry. What's that, Mike?
I said, what they do? Spank him? Is that why he's crying?
It's just really unusual. I mean, I don't know what that was about. I'm sure the executives were in his ear saying, apologize and act like you're going to cry. Good Lord.
What a waste.
I don't think that apology was sincere at all. I think that was just some straight up acting. He should have just said, I screwed up. I'm sorry. That's it.
I got to tell you, I kind of disagree with you. I think it was totally sincere. I think he completely wimped out.
Well, that was after they threatened him.
Exactly.
They put the fear into his heart. That's why.
I would have quit. I would have gone in a job at Walmart if they had to put me up to that. I would not apologize for that. There was nothing off color about the comment. It was a joke. They were joking. They were laughing. I'm curious to know what the guys in the background were doing when he said it. Did they laugh?
They were laughing. The other two guys, yeah.
There you go.
But not the other dude.
Yeah, the white guy.
Not the other. Well, they're all white, but not the guy with the. I believe he's wearing these glasses here. I don't even know which is who. I don't know if it was Tony or the other guy, Maz. I think it might have been Maz.
You know, at this point, it doesn't
They're all
even
the
matter,
same.
Michael.
Who cares who they are? I mean,
Exactly.
I don't give a shit who they are.
I ask you again, the guys that they were making fun of, were they black?
Yeah, the guys in the background were black. The
and
two
did they
gentlemen.
laugh?
I don't think they could even hear it.
All right.
But I could be wrong. I mean, they probably were laughing. I can't tell. They don't really, you can't really see them too good in the background there. But again, it was a little too over the top, that apology. I mean, again, Just say you're sorry, move on. You don't need to spend that much time.
Agreed.
It's just a joke, guy.
Yeah.
But again, the corporate suits, though, they wanted him to, apologize like that.
Right. Because they'll end, as I said, they'll end up losing corporate sponsors like Coca-Cola or whatever the hell. Whoever stood up for BLM, those POSs, okay? The whole country, which was scammed by BLM, using this thing this whole racial background that they were using to say that white people were beating down on blacks or systematically killing black people, which is the biggest lie there is. Okay.
Yes, BLM. Blum. Well, again, I don't see them any different than the, breast cancer folks, the Red Cross.
Yeah, and
these
if
are
you
all
make
organizations.
A joke about breast cancer, they're going to get on your back too, right?
Probably, but these organizations all pocket the funds. Rarely ever does that money ever see those who need it, those that are suffering from these ailments.
Couldn't agree more.
These alignments. And furthermore, Mike, all these things start off with a pretty good positive message. Do Black Lives Matter? Sure.
Of course they do.
Of course.
All lives matter.
Well, yes, of course, that goes without saying by default, because we're all human.
That's right.
But the fact that everybody wants to sort of divide everybody and
that's right.
do that sort of deal.
That's the political left. That's what they want. They want to, as I've told you, they are going page by page by the Marxist handbook. And the division of the American people is what's been happening since King Obama.
And Star Wars, I think, says he'd only let Hulk Hogan sleep with Heather. Well, so did Bubba the Love Sponge. He let Hulk Hogan do what he wanted with his wife. And we are joined by a caller here. Caller, go ahead. You are live on the air. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for having the show today, Mike and Mike. Appreciate it.
The Canadians here.
Hello, Mr.
Team
Canada.
Maple Leaf.
I'm Dr. Detroit in the chat, by the way.
Oh, that's you?
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Very nice. What's going on out there in this strange place called Canada?
I don't even know where to begin, to tell you the truth.
Yikes. Well, that's not good.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for calling then. Thanks for wasting our time.
So, sorry about that. I'm a little nervous right now. I don't know why, but
don't be. It's okay. It's just us.
So what happened?
Well,
What's
you
going
remember
on?
that? You guys remember that high school teacher?
Oh yeah, with the
big boob?
with the fake prosthetic titties. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, apparently it's all been an act at school
of course.
The neighbors in the area. He dresses as a guy normally, but dresses up as a particular woman in school. He got caught on film walking around.
I knew it was a gimmick from the start. You know, I knew he wasn't really that much of a demented, idiotic, leftist moron.
He looks like Tim Dillon.
He actually does look like Tim Dillon. That's another sort of a commentator, by the way, Mike, that I have no idea why anybody would listen to that for any amount of time. A lot of these guys, they have these shows and they don't appeal to me at all. I'm just like, what is this shit? Not for me. Like very much like sports talk shows. Not for me. I could care less.
Yeah, I agree.
Gross. But yeah. Anyways, Canada going downhill. America soon to follow. Justin Trudeau, causing all kinds of ruckus out there. People want that man underground. They want him buried underground, Mike.
That's so.
They hate that guy.
Hey, he just got off the Emergency Act. All that. Remember the trucker protest?
I recall, yeah.
They had in Ottawa?
Yeah.
Well, they had an investigation into that, and he got off all the charges against the citizens. And check this out. The guy who was in charge of everything is Justin Trudeau's aunt. He's married to Justin Trudeau's aunt.
Yikes. That's no accident, Mike.
Surprise, surprise.
Not a surprise, but yes, Mike. Yes, surprise indeed. Oh, there we go.
Even with me personally, like I had an issue with my cat. I have a pet cat who's a little bit overweight, and she has some constipation issues, right?
Yeah.
So I was calling around for a vet, and I couldn't find the vet, what I wanted, whatever. One of the vets actually called Ontario Welfare on me. Ontario Welfare Animal Welfare Services on me. Showed up at my fucking goddamn door and took my cat, saying the cat was unsafe.
That is not good.
And now I got this vet bill of $3,000 to pay within 10 days, or they're going to take my cat back and put it up for adoption. This is what's going on in Canada.
Wow. Can you hear that, Mike? That's crazy.
He broke up a couple of times. I kind of missed a few words that he was saying. Did he say that they put his cat in a safe?
No, Animal Welfare Services showed up at my front door, said they had a complaint from a vet that my cat was unwell, and they took my cat right in front of me, put him in a cage, took it to their own personal vet, right? Brought my cat back 4 days later and gave me a $3,000 bill, and I have to pay that bill within 10 working days, or they're going to take my cat again and put my cat up for adoption.
What?
This is what's going on in Canada, man.
Oh my God. I would tear that place down with my bare hands if they ever took one away.
For constipation.
No, not if I was constipated. I would tear that place down if they touched one of my animals. I'd tear it down with my hands.
Poor
That's
cat.
what I feel.
Well, I'm sorry you are facing that sort of issue out there in Canada. I mean, doesn't sound like anywhere I would want to go.
I agree, man.
I wish you well, man.
I know.
I hope everything works out for you.
We hope you get your cat fixed. We hope we get this situation fixed.
Well, I called my local congressperson around here, and they're actually like freaked out about the situation. So they've actually said they're going to help. So we'll see what happens from there. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed for you. That is pretty screwed up, man. Poor cat. Poor you.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucking fucked up over this, man.
Oy vey.
Like I can't save my bacon during the lockdown and stuff, right?
What a shame. I sincerely hope that your situation works out and you do get your cat back.
I have the cat now, Mike. I have the cat now.
Good.
But I have to pay the bill in 10 days, and I have no shot at paying the bill in 10 days. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think you might have to.
Okay.
I think you might have to go visit Justin Trudeau and see if you can have a little talk with him.
He doesn't talk to people like me. I already said that. He wants me dead.
Well, Mike, there you have it. That's an update for you out there in Canada, Mike. Wow.
I'm the fringe minority, remember, right?
My God.
What did you say?
He said he's a French minority.
Oh. Don't make any jokes about your ethnic background back there.
I know you. I know. I'm actually kind of nervous for him.
I'm half Polish and half Ukrainian.
Oh boy!
Wow.
A lot of jokes there.
Yeah, many to come. But yes, I apologize, my friend, for this inconvenience you have to deal with there, thanks to your tyrannical government and your dictator, Mr. Justin Trudeau. And hopefully things go up pretty soon here for you, my friend.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yikes. Well, thanks for calling in, my friend.
Anyways, I love your show. You guys rock.
We love you.
And everybody listening, smash that like button because Michael Deacon and Mike Hideous rule. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Love you. Take care.
Thank you, man.
Love that.
Much love from Canada.
From Canada.
Canada.
Great place. If you want to get murdered by their government. just like here. Government, our government is always trying to kill someone. That's what I learned. Government in general always wants to kill someone, Mike. Keep that in mind.
It's part of the business, brother.
It's part of the charm.
The charm.
Yeah. It's part of the charm of America. And if anybody wants to call, that number is 424-666-2425. 424-666-2425. Don't be afraid. We're here just for you. You're never alone.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, R. Kelly to serve 1 year in prison, by the way.
Who? I know that name. Who is that?
Actually, that's not 1 year.
R. Kelly.
That's a 30-year.
R. Kelly. He's a rapper or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the guy that was going out with a young girl or something, right? Right. Yeah, it says here, R. Kelly to serve 1 year in prison for Chicago convictions of child pornography and enticement after completing his 30-year racketeering sentence, by the way. Bye.
Yes, goodbye to one R. Kelly.
Don't let the wiener hit you in the back door.
Can you imagine that? R. Kelly.
Yes, I can. I mean,
great singer, by the way. I don't think he's a talentless singer, but he did a few bad things, in my opinion. Well, not just a few.
The sentence was long enough?
I think he should serve a lot more than that.
That's what I was asking. I thought you might, because I know how you feel about that sort of thing. So
yeah, R. Kelly is the man who peed on his hoe. I think that's what a Jack Star in the chat room just said.
Nice way to put it.
I mean, that's one way to say it, yeah.
He twinkled on his biatch.
That's right. On his hoe.
On his hoe.
I don't understand that sort of fetish, by the way.
No?
I'm not into that German water sport sort of thing. It seems like all the Europeans out there like water sports. The Germans love. And Guten Morgen for all the German listeners out there. No disrespect to you. I just know that some of you guys are really into that scat porn, into that weird sort of thing.
Shyster.
I don't understand it, to be honest, but I know all of you guys love that out there in Germany. But yeah, that's the way that goes. But water sports, not really something I would want to do, Mike. I'm not sure if you've ever gone down that road where you peed on
tonight.
I'm not sure if you've ever urinated on a woman or vice versa, a woman urinating on you. But a lot of people are into that sort of thing, water sports. I'm not one of them, by the way. I just don't get it, Mike.
That's fine. To each his own, my friend. Everyone has something that floats their boat.
Yeah, but how does that get anybody off, though? How does that turn someone on? You're like, just pee on me. I was
about to say,
I get turned on.
For some people, what floats their boat is pee-pee, and other people, what floats their boat is poopy.
Caca and pee-pee. So the show's been reduced to caca and pee-pee talk now. It's a great show.
Exactly. That's why I'm going with those kindergarten words.
Can you imagine, though? I just don't understand a man or woman who would say, just urinate on me or take a big hot dump on me. Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. I'm into it.
One on me.
Yeah. Who was into that, though?
Oh, brother.
Do we have any listeners out there who are into that? Definitely call in. The number's 424-666-2425. Don't be scared. We're here all night.
We have to do a show just on
water sports.
Water sports and poopy.
Jeez.
I like these new terms. It's kind of funny.
These are fun terms.
Pee-pee.
But they're not new. They're very old.
Indeed.
Very, very old. But yes, that is one R. Kelly definitely going down. And I think he should do a lot more time than that, to be honest. I mean, yeah. He did some pretty bad stuff to a lot of underage girls, Mike.
So you've told me.
Yeah. It's crazy. And now he's going to be going away for a while.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm not sad at all. Not at all, Mike. I want him to go away even longer than that, to be honest.
Yikes.
Great singer, though.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a good singer. I think Michael Jackson even was a good singer, but you already know what the deal is with that guy, that wacko. Sharing a bed with underage kids when you are a 30-plus-year-old man.
And a monkey, too.
And, yeah, he had a little monkey. Bubbles.
Bubbles the monkey.
Bubbles the monkey.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Now, that Joe Jackson beat the hell out of his son Michael Jackson. That's why he came out the way he did. All those constant beatings. That Joe Jackson knocking him up the head there. That abusive father. Is that what your dad did to you, Mike? Did he ever whip you with a branch?
That's why I became such a great performer.
Yeah, exactly. It was your father was hitting you with a branch over your head.
My mother, and my father beat me constantly, so I would be a good performer.
Well, it makes sense now. Mike was abused.
Yep.
So
talented.
Have you ever come across someone, though, that did go through some sort of trauma? And they were just completely different people after that. I met someone once, and I'm forgetting exactly what the details were, but something really screwed up happened to this guy. And, I tried talking to him years later, and it was like talking to a stranger.
Indeed. Yeah. I in my younger days, when I first started seriously dating girls, age 17 and up. And I got, the ability to drive around and go places. When I began to meet women, and I don't want anybody out in the audience to take any offense to this, because it's just my experience and what I went through.
I'm offended already.
Of course you are. So I had noticed that a lot of women that I dated, and I can only say this for women because I didn't date guys, was that when they...
You didn't date guys? That's news to me. I'm joking. Go ahead.
I noticed that when they didn't have, in most cases, when they didn't have two parents, for example, if somebody was divorced and the girl lived with just her mother, that they were different than other girls that I met.
Exactly.
That had two parents. And I don't mean that in a facetious way. I'm not, if there's anybody out there listening who has divorced parents and lived with one or the other, I'm not saying it was you. I'm simply saying my experience.
Your experience, right.
I noticed a difference of girls that I was dating that didn't have two parents. And in some cases, there were one or two girls that I had met who had a serious issue with, I guess you would call it being molested or something.
Right.
And then I had a multitude of women who said that they were molested just when somebody put their hand on them or touched them. And that, to me, is not molestation. These are girls who were just looking for pity.
They were screwed up.
Right.
Some of them, not all, but yeah.
I've known a number of girls in my past that claimed they were molested when indeed they were not.
My God. That kind of reminds me of growing up with kids that didn't have, like a father figure, and they only had sisters. You couldn't really joke around with them or be rough with them. they were really fragile and feminine.
Yes.
And that's a direct result, in my opinion. I could be wrong here, but that's a direct result of not having a father figure or a quote unquote man around the house.
I knew.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I knew a guy who's slightly older than me by about 10 years. And I've known him all my life. And he grew up with 4 sisters. He was the only boy. And he was the third oldest. And I said four girls, sisters. And he ended up being very effeminate when he grew up. And
there you go.
Not to say that that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's something that you notice. You notice these traits about these people's situations is what I'm trying to get at.
That's right.
And I'm no expert. Again, I'm just stating from my experience with, other fellow classmates of mine that were boys, and you can always tell from your friends which one, only had sisters and didn't have a dad. You just you could kind of tell as a child, even. Well, at least I did.
Right.
I guess not every child is like me.
If I may,
go jump in there. Yeah.
If it's kind of a theory that I have. I think that after the 1950s, I think what began to happen is, first of all, you had the divorce rate that began to go higher and higher as we hit the 70s and 80s. And I think we're at a point in time where the value of the family is really no longer looked upon as a decent thing. Now, you know my background, Michael, but I'm going to say it that, again, this is a theory. I think having grown up in a Christian household, I learned the value of family. And I think there are some people out there who didn't get that opportunity, particularly if their parents were divorced. So what I'm saying is this: we've moved on into a time period in which people no longer understand the value of family. In my opinion, I think it's very, very important, especially coming from an Italian background. And I think nowadays family isn't what it used to be. You don't have the care of a mother and father. You don't have siblings that would, stick up for you. It's all individuality. Nothing wrong with individuality. I'm an individual person who has done things that are estranged from my family.
Right.
But it's a different world, and things are just, I don't know. It's a different world. That's all I can really say.
I agree with you. These are different times indeed. And those times of yesteryear are completely gone now, Mike.
Yeah, sadly.
It's gone.
Sadly. Because I think it's so important for a child to grow up with 2 parents.
Sure.
And I don't mean mommy and mommy or daddy and daddy.
Oh, how dare you. I'm going to go call my dad who's my mom and my mom who's my dad.
Let me explain.
Yes.
I'm sure that there are gay couples out there who want a child who are willing to do the right thing. And I'm all right with that. However, what I'm saying is that when you have a male figure role model and a female figure role model in your life as a child, you learn how to, for example, I'm a boy and I had a mom and a dad. My father taught me how to be a man. My mother taught me how to respect women, and vice versa as well. And I think if you don't have that, is where trouble begins. And then as you get older, you can become a criminal, use drugs, get in a situation where you could become physically molested, raped, or hurt. I think family values are extremely important.
So does that mean you've never struck a woman in your life?
I've never outright hit a woman.
You've never punched a woman?
Right. I've never knowingly clenched my fist and aimed it for a woman's face. I've never done that. I've protected myself, as I've mentioned before, but I've never intentionally hit a woman.
I've never gone into that, by the way. I've never been in that situation where I had to, be physical with a woman and strike her. Thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thank God I've never been in that situation. I have choked women before, but that's through jujitsu.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, you choke everyone, men and women.
So we're talking about erotic.
No, not at all. I'm not trying to get sued here. Sometimes women say, yeah, I like to be choked. And then you choke them, and then they call the cops.
Then they call
the police. I've been trying to avoid any kind of Me Too situation. Fuck that.
Right? Amen.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, you don't want to be hitting any women at all, no matter what. I mean, you got to get out of that situation.
That's right.
Not in today's climate, Mike.
Nope.
That's why, I run from that situation.
When I was a kid, my father would tell me stories about when he was young and a teenager, and how they would, run around and not get in trouble, but have a little fun and maybe get in trouble. But
get in trouble. Yeah. Great advice.
And,
get in
now
trouble.
that I'm older, I look back and realize that my childhood and growing up back then is so far different than today's kids.
Oh, of course.
It just really is.
Can't even compare now.
Yeah. Like when I rode a bike, I didn't put a helmet on, elbow pads, knee pads, and have a horn on my bicycle. If I crashed, I crashed. If I fell out of a tree, I fell out of a tree. If I stayed out late on the streets when the street lights were on, hanging out with my friends, I didn't call home to my parents and say, hey, hanging out, smoking cigarettes with my friends.
Right.
Today it's everything's coddled. All children are coddled. They're being manipulated in school to think that if they are white, that they are bad because they're racist. If they're a boy or a girl, they're taught that you can be a girl or a boy. I mean, this is a whole different world we live in nowadays.
It's a rather different world, and it's only going to get worse. Mike, these things are escalating around the world. These tensions are escalating around the world. The U.S. is to expand the true presence in Taiwan for training agents in China. Mm-hmm. The China threat, they're saying. So, that's never good. And of course, Vladimir Putin is saying that secret attack. There's secret sleeper cells that are going to be attacking America, allegedly disrupting the U.S. grid. See, Mike, that's what I was telling you about.
Just wonderful.
These sort of things can happen and are probably going to happen. And now this is a new thing that is coming to light now. The CIA and the FBI counterintelligence, they've been talking about these Russian sleeper cells hidden in plain sight here in the U.S. So, yeah, there's more for you to consume there, folks, of what's to come.
Positively ridiculous. What a world, man.
Oh, yeah. It's only going to get worse.
Did you ever imagine we would reach a point where China and Russia have threatened us with nuclear weapons?
Then they keep doing it every day. For the last year, they've been talking all this nonsense, Mike.
Yeah. Just the balls on China to demand that, or should I say, to say that America did the wrong thing by shooting down their spy balloon, even after we let it go over the entire country.
My God. And we are joined by another caller here. Mike, let's take this call. Caller, you
Hello, you gentlemen.
Whoa. You're live now. What's up? How are you?
I didn't mean to step on you. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Mikey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Where are you calling from?
Washington.
Nice. Okay. Washington State or D.C.?
So I wanted to ask. I got the Columbia one.
Okay.
So I got a question for you specifically. I'm sorry to make you nervous because I'm targeting you. I'm calling you out. If you were a boy growing up, did you have a subscription to Boys Life magazine?
I did not, but I did have a subscription to Ranger Rick magazine, which was a nature magazine.
Honorable mention for sure. But no Boys Life?
I'm afraid not. No, I was part of the Boy Scouts. So my father was a Scoutmaster, and my brother was also a Scoutmaster. So I was involved in the Scouts as a child.
God bless you. So that's really impressive.
Well, thank you.
You must have skipped over the entire Cub Scout experience because you were legacy.
If I may, I'll give you a quick story. I wanted to become an official Boy Scout, but in order to do that, you had to go to Cub Scouts first. So I'll never forget this day. I forget what age I was. I must have been 11, 10. I don't remember. So my mother brings me to the Boy Scout meeting. I kid you not. They made us make, I don't know, masks out of paper brown bags. And I was used to going on camping trips with my father and brother with the Boy Scouts, and using knives and hatchets. And here we are making masks out of paper bags. 15 minutes I was there. I quit. I said, Mom, I'm never coming back. I want to play with knives and fire.
Right? Yeah.
Couldn't do that in Boy Scouts.
So you didn't get an arrow of light.
I interrupted you.
No. You're doing great. I love hearing that story. I was in the Cub Scouts, but I did not proceed on to Boy Scouts. But I did get my arrow of light. Okay. Technically, I think if there were a Boy Scouts of America anymore, I think I could get grandfathered in.
So what is it? Did you want to bring something up? Did I say something to offend you or something?
No. In fact, you know who I am. This is Jackstar. I'm really enjoying the content tonight, and you're
good.
As always, I genuinely appreciate the presence you bring to the show.
Well, thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know I don't get a chance to say it very often. They say to compliment in public and to criticize in private, and I don't get a chance to do that, unfortunately.
That's very kind of you. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the host, Mr. Michael Deacon, who I owe a great deal of respect and honor to.
That's true. And I have no say in the matter, but I prefer you to any other co-host, not sidekick, co-host.
All right, did you hear that, Michael?
I could hear every word.
Okay, good. I don't know if he has any other co-hosts, but I think you knock it out of the park. I really do like it, no matter what I sound like.
That's great. I think we have a great chemistry together.
Yeah, it's for sure. Okay, I'll go now. I don't want to take up too much time.
Oh,
you got it. Thanks for calling in, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Of course. Yeah, be safe out there.
Bye.
Careful.
You too.
That was really nice of him.
Yes, that was Jack Starr from the chat room there. Glad he called in. That's what we like here. When people actually call in and they're not afraid, they're not intimidated, they're not scared. We enjoy that here.
Indeed.
We don't want you to be scared of anything now, by the way.
He's right, though. This is a very good show with the topic and how we're conducting it.
It's a fun show.
I think it's really a good show tonight.
It's a fun show. It's a great show. And, we're almost out of here. I apologize for that, but it's just the way it goes here. And, Mike, one of the other latest stories that's been circulating, people are kind of excited about it, is Donald Trump, actually. He went out there to Ohio. He went to McDonald's. And this man loves McDonald's, by the way.
Yeah. Surprised he's still alive.
I didn't know he was that in. Yeah, I didn't know he was that into it. I kind of thought it was sort of like a gimmick at first. Right. I kind of just thought, he's, sort of pandering there to McDonald's a little bit. Maybe he wants like some sort of sponsorship, but no, this guy loves McDonald's.
He certainly does.
And, there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, I'm surprised he's alive eating that McDonald's.
I like it every once in a while. I like having a little bit of fast food.
You're cutting in and out there.
More, though.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, so are you, buddy.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty badly there. I don't know what happened.
Check. 1, 2. Chesting.
Chesting. You're chesting the mic there. That's hilarious.
Are we okay? Am I all right now?
Yeah, you sound a little bit better.
Yeah, because I was having some problems with you coming in now.
I'm telling you, it's that extreme weather that we have. This extreme blizzard that's happening right now.
And the funny thing is that there's not a cloud in the sky where I am right now.
Where you're at, but not where I'm at.
No, you got. That's right. You've got that crazy storm.
Got this weird. I'm telling you, it's this weird sort of thing going on out here, which I'm telling you, I don't believe is organic at all. I think This has been done on purpose here. I know you don't believe it, but that's okay.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly. It's Satan, Mike, causing all these issues, in my opinion.
I don't know if it was Satan. I think it would make it rain fire.
And make it rain acid or something cool.
Yeah.
Something cool, but yeah. I agree. I don't think it's Satan at all. I think it's the U.S. government, Mike.
I think it's
Palestine.
It could be. What is that? East Palestine?
It's East Palestine. Yeah.
East Palestine in Ohio.
And that's where Trump was, by the way.
That's right.
Made that a pit stop there at McDonald's, and according to reports, Trump didn't waste any time placing his order and made sure to let the staff know that he needed his meal knocked out fast.
Yeah, what did he order? Like 500 hamburgers?
Who knows?
Police department?
Right, who knows what that guy ordered? But it's funny to know that, he actually likes McDonald's, like legitimately. It's not a gimmick. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's pretty real. It's pretty funny to me.
It definitely is.
Yeah, you would expect him to be eating better food.
Well, you got to hand it to the guy. I mean, he's a man who sleeps 4 hours a day.
So he says.
I think I tend to believe it based on the
4
accounts that I've heard about.
Who sleeps for 4 hours, though?
Right, but I mean,
crazy.
it's the guy who works constantly.
4 hours, though, man. That's wild.
What's his name? The guy who invented the electricity. What's his name? Not Alexander Graham Bell. Oh, damn it. Who's the guy who invented electricity? Not the light bulb. Electricity.
So you're saying that person only slept for like an hour?
He used to sleep like 2 hours to 3 hours a day. And his theory was that when your body hits absolute rest, where you go into REM, that's when you get the most rest. Because I can tell you, I could lay in my bed. I have terrible insomnia. Terrible. I could lay in bed for 8 full hours. And even if I get some sleep, I don't get the full REM sleep, which is really bad because I don't get the rest.
Heavy REM sleep, yes.
Beg your pardon?
I said heavy REM sleep, and you're talking about Benjamin Franklin.
No, not that guy. I know him too. It's the other guy.
Well, he's the one that created electricity.
Well, yeah, he discovered it through the key on the kite. But there's another guy from the early 1900s, not Einstein, not Bell. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing.
Someone in the chat says Nikola Tesla.
No. That's another guy. I'm so bad with names. You see what I mean? But anyway, this guy who invented many, many things in the early 1900s. He invented the phonograph. Look that up. Whoever invented the phonograph. Edison. Thank you, Mona.
Thomas Edison. Presley. You mean
Thomas Edison? Thank you, Mona Alexis Presley. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Edison used to sleep 2 hours, maybe 3 hours a night.
Really?
There are pictures of him taking naps on his desk. He would work all through the night. And what I was saying before, his theory was that you only needed about 2 hours of solid sleep with REM. Everything else is just rest.
Not REM the band, you meant REM sleep, yes.
I hate that band. We are completely off subject.
That's okay.
I was going with something. Oh, Trump. Yeah. So he's a guy who works hard, and I can appreciate that because I can't.
Right. Well, much respect to him for sleeping that little. I mean, definitely not something I would tell anyone to do.
Yeah, I need like 12 hours of sleep a day.
Yeah, I need a long time to sleep.
Me too.
That's too little. I'd be bombing countries if I slept for that long.
Me too, man. I'm so bad. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm like a walking zombie.
Jesus. Yes, Red Cat Guy saying to Google it. Very powerful. I think he's
Edison's micro sleeping. Yes, he's right.
I think this guy is a little bit behind here on the stream. I think most listeners are a little bit on a delay here.
Yeah, a couple seconds, maybe.
It happens, though.
A minute.
I
know when I hang up with you at the end of the night, if I flip to the show.
Oh, you still hear the audio?
I still hear us talking and going insane.
Damn, so we do have a heavy sort of delay.
Yeah, about 30 seconds, maybe even a minute.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Whatever, though, it happens. That's life. What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? So, Mike, it's always an honor and pleasure to have you here and have these discussions with you. And this pretty much sort of winds us down here, Mike.
Yes, sir.
We're sort of winding down here slowly.
Okay.
And yeah, I could hear you breaking up in real time. So yeah, I think that's a sign that we probably have to get out of here before the quality gets even worse.
Okay.
But one other story I wanted to bring up here before we get going here.
Oh, I know what it is.
Is that your favorite president in history, Joseph Biden, may not be running.
Are you surprised?
Well, a little bit. I thought he would be, but the Democrats out there, the top ones, are reporting that he's not going to be running again. They're very uncertain over whether President Biden will seek a second term in 2024.
I can't even begin. We don't have enough time.
I know, Mike. I know, but again, we'll see what happens here. We'll
be lucky. We'll lucky if he makes it to 2024 without having a stroke.
Yes, exactly. We'll see, and then we can celebrate on Celebrity Death Pool the next segment. We'll have a special one for him.
Yeah.
Yes, and Biden fell up the stairs on Air Force One again. I saw that.
Again?
Again, Mike. Poor guy.
I know. I feel bad for him in that capacity, but as a politician, he can suck it.
He's fine, though. He's, he'll be all right. We can laugh at him for falling down.
And everything else
he would probably laugh at you if he saw you fall down, so.
He'd also kick me while I'm down here.
Probably.
You stupid son of a bitch.
So it's all right to make fun of Biden. But yeah, Mike, the other big news was that Guns N' Roses are heading on the road in a big way. The band announced an extensive world tour, and their first stop will be Tel Aviv in Israel.
Nice. What's your thoughts on that?
What a surprise. I mean, they would be playing there first stop.
Is Slash Jewish?
I would, maybe. I would say he might be.
Slashinsky?
I say he's more, I would say he's more Jewish than I am, that's for sure.
He's Slash Stanley.
Slashinsky.
Slashinsky, yeah, you got
it. Yeah, he's my lawyer. That's what I call my lawyer.
Now we've been canceled.
Now the show's over.
That's it. You made a racial joke.
It's over.
Show's over.
The
folks.
ADL's coming for us now.
The thought police are coming.
The thought police. Be careful.
We're going to have to go and take sensitivity classes.
That's right. And I'm going to have to get on the air and start crying. Oh, I'm so sorry.
My voice.
I'm so sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to make these racial comments, Mike. I'm so sorry.
You should be embarrassed.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do next time I'm on. And just start crying.
What a pathetic idiot.
But Mike, before
him.
I get you. But Mike, before I let you go, though, we have all these sort of crazy topics we discuss here, and they're always fun. And I did want to ask you one question here. Why do so many people report alien abductions, Mike, in your opinion? Do you think all these people are nuts? Do you think they're making it up? Are they smoking crack with Hunter Biden? Why do you think so many people have these abduction stories? I like getting your take.
Okay. My personal opinion?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think there is one of two things, or possibly both things, that are occurring with them. Either they want attention, or they have something medically wrong with them, brain-wise. Now, you know as well as I know, I would love for someone to prove to me that there is alien life abducting people. But until that moment comes, I cannot believe that people are being abducted by aliens.
I hear you. Well, scientists blame that on sleep paralysis.
Yes.
That's what the scientists say about that.
I have I'm not going to do it now, but I have a very good story about sleep paralysis that happened to me when I was 21.
Nice. We'll definitely get into that the next episode here. We'll get further into alien abduction stories and all kinds of fun things here next time you're on the program with me, Mike.
Cool.
Very good. Well, once again, Mike, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. Always a honor and pleasure. And go ahead and plug away, Mike.
Okay, folks, my book, King of an Empire to the Shoes of a Misfit, about my career as a performer from start to finish, is available on my website, MikeHideous.com. And if you don't know how to spell my name by now, then you shouldn't be listening to the show. Many, many thanks to Michael Deacon, of course. Many, many thanks to the people listening to the show. And if you're listening to the podcast, thank you as well. Thanks for everybody calling in tonight and being so kind. And that's it. I had a great time tonight. I think tonight's show was extremely important. And I think we got away with it without being too much of a potty mouth, dirty scumbags that we can be.
That's true. We were kind of clean here tonight. I'm kind of surprised, but we did it.
I'm proud.
You're proud
of you, brother.
You're proud to be an American.
I'm proud of that too. But I think we both... That too. I think we did a really good job not swearing too much. What do you think?
You know, Mike, I'm gonna miss you here, and I'm gonna miss swearing and doing all kinds of nasty things here on the air and making fun of people.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not gonna stop.
Of course not.
It's just gonna keep going.
Of course, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
We should do a show where we just swear.
Well, I mean, my dad might not like that.
Well, tell him not to listen.
I'm going to tell him, don't listen anymore. It's your problem.
Just this show. Don't listen to this show. We're going to swear every sentence.
You know, I'm going to tell him to stop listening.
No, don't do that.
I'm joking, of course. But yeah, either way, Mike, it was a great time. We were here for a long time, it turned out. And we'll do it again very, very soon, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. I had a great time, and I'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Good night, my friend.
All right, buddy. Take care. Good night, everyone.
And there he goes, boys and girls. That was my co-host, the one and only Mr. Mike Hideous. And as we wrap up tonight's epic adventure, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of you awesome folks out there who have been rocking with us. Whether you're tuning in for the first time, or if you are a long time listener, whether you're tuning in from the heart of America or from far off lands beyond, we are beyond grateful for your presence here, and we don't want this party to end just yet. Keep the good times rolling by downloading and listening to the Michael Deacon program on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're feeling a little generous and want to show some love for the program, head on over to patreon.com/Michael Deacon. And yes, that's where gold falls from the sky, folks. And yes, the music is rolling on in. That could only mean one thing. The show is about to end. So once again, head on over to patreon.com/Michael Deacon and sign up. You won't be regretted. And we'll be eternally grateful for that. And before I forget, please go to michaeldeacon.com if you want any merchandise. We need that to keep the lights on. We need all your help to keep the lights on, that's for sure. Things are going south out here. Last but not least, we've got some exciting news. We've taken our show to rumble.com, and definitely look for the program there. Rumble.com, the Michael Deacon program. Go ahead and add us there. Now, we know these are strange times and mysterious times we're living in, but one thing that's for sure, we'll always be here to keep you entertained and enlightened, that's for sure. So until we meet again, boys and girls, I'm Michael Deacon signing off from the wastelands of California. And with that said, the world is a mysterious place, and life itself is a mystery. Until next time, good night, everybody.